So the 2021 NBA Draft Lottery just finished, and the Golden State Warriors now have the 7th and 14th pick. There are a ton of things to think about and consider, and I'm sure Joe Lacob must have looked Bob Myers in the eye recently and said, "What we do now will echo into eternity." Bob Myers might have been a little confused and thinking to himself, "Are you quoting Marcus Aurelius?" But whether Joe Lacob was quoting the Roman emperor or whether he wasn't, the truth is, those two 2021 lottery picks can restore the Golden State Warriors dynasty. So first off, a little background into this draft. For the Warriors, this draft is all about who can help Steph Curry immediately and contribute meaningful minutes to a championship team. Bob Myers recently spoke with the media and said, "We're not trying to develop players at the risk of losing. That's not the plan." I agree. The Warriors don't need any more projects that take years to develop. Draymond Green also recently said on air,
"Go get other veterans, but getting draft picks and placing them next to two All-Stars, that don't work."
I agree as well that putting 19-year-olds next to Steph Curry won't work unless it's someone like Magic Johnson or LeBron James. With all that being said, the San Antonio Spurs in 2010 and 2011, with an aging Big Three, kept falling short in the postseason. But after acquiring Kawhi Leonard in the 2011 NBA Draft, that path to the championship was opened once again, and within 3 years, they went to the finals twice and won once, although they should have won twice. Also remember, Steph Curry was drafted 7th overall, Klay Thompson was drafted 11th overall, and Draymond Green was drafted 35th overall. So with a bit of analysis and luck, the Warriors could really be restoring their dynasty. With that in mind, let's take a look at the options available to the Warriors. First off, let me say no to something. I've been seeing online on Reddit from 76ers fans that they want to ship off Ben Simmons for Andrew Wiggins, plus 1 or 2 of the 2021 picks. This would have to be a big no on the Warriors side, simply because Ben Simmons can't shoot. Ben Simmons would most likely be another Draymond Green on the court, except that actually, Draymond can shoot free throws, and occasionally threes. This trade is fun if I was playing 2K, but wouldn't be a good fit for the Warriors in real life, especially when you have to throw in 1 or 2 of the 2021 draft picks. Next off, another idea floating around is for the Warriors to take a page out of the 76ers books, namely, trade up. What this entails is the Warriors trading both their 7th and 14th pick for the Cavaliers' 3rd overall pick. Like I said earlier, the Warriors don't need more projects at this point in their timeline, and an NBA-ready player who can contribute immediately would be ideal. And one of those players is Jaylen Green.
It's a wide open shot. They're just not making the shot at the clip.
He's projected to go 4th overall to the Toronto Raptors in most mock drafts. But if the Warriors can combine both picks, plus maybe an Oubre sign and trade for the 3rd overall pick that the Cavaliers have, they can be getting a star player who can both contribute immediately and grow with the organization for years to come. Jaylen Green stands 6'6", and he skipped college basketball to go directly into the G League, where he averaged about 18 points per game while shooting 46% from the field, 37% from beyond the arc, and 83% at the free throw line. In his one playoff game in the G League, Green recorded 30 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. He has a combination of athleticism and shot-making ability, which ultimately translates into being an elite scorer. The Warriors could definitely use coming off the bench. People say he's built like Ray Allen and fierce like Kobe. Not a bad pickup.
Yeah, it's time to get this young man the ball again and let him just be athletic.
Although he's only 19, I could see Jaylen Green coming off the bench and providing 15 to 20 solid minutes for the Warriors and helping them with their biggest weakness, which is scoring. If the Warriors are unable to trade up and get Jaylen Green, that'll whoomp. But thankfully, there are a few more hidden gems in the draft. We'll take a look first at Chris Duarte. Chris Duarte stands 6'6", played 4 years of college basketball, and is one of the few NBA-ready prospects.
Start between Iowa and Oregon and Duarte.
The Warriors need veterans, and in this draft class, Chris Duarte is about the closest thing to a vet that you can get. He's 24 years old and models his game after the beast of the Bay, Klay Thompson, and just finished an amazing year at Oregon, where he averaged about 17 points while shooting 53% from the field, 42% from beyond the arc, and 81% at the free throw line. Watching Duarte will remind you of a young Klay Thompson, someone who can come off screens for catch and shoots, and also someone who has a quick release off the dribble.
Iowa plays about 30% of the time. Guards are back on the floor.
Who are they going to get here? That's an and one.
Can you imagine Klay Thompson coming back at 100%? And when he goes to the bench to get his rest, you have a 24-year-old who plays exactly like him coming in. Splash, splash, splash. Chris Duarte would be the 14th pick for the Warriors and can contribute immediately. Next off is the Warriors' other pick. Now the 7th overall pick is actually a bit trickier due to these players being too young, but with decent potential and in a win-now situation. Franz Wagner, Moses Moody, Davian Mitchell, Jalen Johnson, Nashawn Highland, and Josh Giddey are what the mock drafts are saying could be the potential number 7 pick for the Warriors. If I were Bob Myers, I'm going to have to go with Davian Mitchell, who's the younger brother of Donovan Mitchell. Just kidding about that, guys. But seriously, he does play like him. I mean, Davian even wears number 45, just like Donovan.
3 fouls on Butler could be big in the second half of this game.
Mitchell got it.
Out of all the other options, he's the most NBA ready in my opinion. He'll be 23 years old when next season starts, which is the same age as Jordan Poole. And what I like about him is his ability to get to the rim, his three-point shooting, and his defensive tenacity. In his last college season, he averaged about 14 points per game, while dishing out 5.5 assists on 51% shooting from the floor and 45% shooting from beyond the arc. I was a bit wary of him at first because he is on the shorter end for a guard at 6 foot, but actually, the more and more I watch his highlights, the more I like him.
The NCAA tournament, and maybe really until the Wisconsin game here on this floor. They're in all their glory right now, and another one inside.
He can create his own shot off the dribble and gets teammates involved, which will be big for the Warriors. Defensively, he just won the 2021 Naismith Defensive Player of the Year award. So, him on the Warriors roster, alongside Draymond and Wiggins, might just make the Warriors the number 1 rated defensive team in 2022. More importantly though, Davian Mitchell looks like he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and that's something that cannot be overlooked. Davian has the potential of becoming an all-star in the NBA, and he can contribute immensely in his first season. Before I looked closely into this draft, I was thinking the Warriors needed to trade for a superstar and acquire some older veterans in order to secure this season. But after looking at what this year's crop had, the Warriors could get real dangerous, even if the Cavs don't want to trade their 3rd overall pick. Imagine a starting lineup of Steph, Klay, Green, Wiggins, and Wiseman. I mean, if Klay comes back at 100% health, and if Wiseman can play like DeAndre Ayton and average 15 and 10 in his 2nd season, that is already a scary, scary lineup. Then, coming off the bench, imagine you have Jordan Poole, who is a borderline 6th man of the year type of player, Kevon Looney, JTA, Chris Duarte, and Davian Mitchell. Then if you add Andre Iguodala for his veteran presence in the locker room, and perhaps another center who doesn't cost a lot like a Larry Nance Jr., then I'll say, you've got something here. Man, and I haven't even mentioned the others, like Justinian Jessup, Kent Bazemore, Eric Pascal, and Nico Mannion. This Warriors team next year is going to be loaded after this draft. If these trades happen, you can pretty much say, the process is complete. Actually, don't say that. It's a jinx. If you don't believe me, look what happened to the 76ers after they completed their process. It's kind of embarrassing, guys, but it is the truth. If you want to see a collapse of epic proportions that's going to be talked about for ages, you got to check out this video. It's a good one. Click it, guys. Watch it, and I'll see you on the other side.